Hello, good morning, good day, good afternoon, good evening. It's your Blue Archive Gacha Whale, beginner artist, self-proclaimed, and your boy, Tosanyo. Welcome to the art stream. For today I will be drawing VTuber fan art, and with that fan art of Hakos Baelz from Hololive English. Will be my first time drawing her, and thinking about Hololive Council, or they are called Promise now. I do think she feels a certain way. So maybe I will try to depict that in a chibi kind of way. Since it's only like Bay alone I will draw, might be actually be around 2 hours. That would be great if I can do it in 2 minutes, speed drawing. Yeah. But maybe I'm gonna add a little bit more, maybe like little puppets, you know, but at the same time... Yeah, let's see what I can do there. I'm not super fluent with like anatomy in like chibi style, but gonna see what I can do. How does this even work? Cool. Is chaos arose, trapped in a cage of steel. Witness me. Something like that. I'm gonna check what else I can like take and go with. Kyatto. I'll try to stick with that. Rather than looking upwards, maybe more downwards. Maybe like a mini Sana and Mimmei. If not too much of effort to draw them. Would require me to also pull up like reference sheets for both of them. Mimmei I did draw in the past, and Sana too. It's not exactly my first time drawing them, but Bay will be my first time. probably gonna draw her an original outfit, but I must like say her other outfits are like nice as well. They have like more drip than like her original, I must say. Oh, she has 4 ears. Okay. Oh gosh, I can hear the cat from here. One floor above me, there's my family, and they have like a cat. Usually when the cat is taken good care of, or has like a lot of room to walk, she's like satisfied. It doesn't cause as much trouble. Let's say she gets separated from any social opportunities, let's say like hanging out with like the humans, then she starts meowing. Cats normally do not meow unless they want something from a human. So if there's like no one in the house, there's no reason to. But if there's someone, then he uses that to like signal like her needs. Like try to communicate with us. That there's like something they want. It seems like there's someone, but decide not to do anything. Sure, yeah. I was like there an hour ago, or like let's say 30 minutes ago. But now she needs more. But there's still like someone in the house, so naturally my responsibilities are done. Now it's like up to, I like gave the baton to the next person. Now it's like up to them. But yeah, there's also like a thing like with giving out the baton. Give it to like one who's available. But can you trust them necessarily? Not always, but you don't have a better choice at some point. Like if there's a lack of manpower, you know, you can't do much. And letting people like learn from experience is also not bad, but man, I can hear her, you can't hear her. Yeah, it's gonna get better tomorrow. Since there will be more manpower back, but for now there's like not much I can do. Only be like 24/7 like available. Would be like nice. You know, like introverts, usually they don't interact a lot with other people. They can like find peace of like being alone and regenerate their social battery like that way. But if like someone is like in the same room with them, like a friend, just brings a laptop and they're like doing their thing, this like makes a lot of a difference. Like it makes your day because you have like company. You're not necessarily alone. If you were like living alone, yeah, it can get lonely. But if there's at least someone with you, let's say you're like in a flat, apartment, and you shared like with other people, you know, you like live and let the other guy live, just like in peace. But you're like living in the same apartment, you split up your costs, and that's about it. There's not always a need to interact with each other, but this is like still enough, you know, because you know you're not alone. If there's emergency, you can always like be, hey, I need some help, are you available, you know? Well, I'm gonna be gone, I'm like awaiting a package, will you be there to pick it up for me? You know? That's like this. And it is nice. They don't have to be really close, but it sure like makes a difference. At least have like some respect, common sense and everything, and then everything is fine. Okay, this says so much. It didn't do much, but it says so much. I like those simple styles. Okay, let me open like some references to like Bei-chan. I think I'm gonna add like a Sana and Mume puppet in there. Sana was like really early gun. Sana, Fauna, Mume. Ah, actually I should like add a third puppet. Let's try maybe something on a lab? Yeah, maybe something on a lab. A little bit of symbolism, I don't know. Maybe not on a lab. Not on a lab. Well, let's try. Let's take a lot. It takes away a lot of space. Like really simplistic puppets. No legs. Skipping leg days. If you take a photo, they don't necessarily capture full body, but like half body, right? Skipping leg days. The same like with Obelisk of Tormentor on the Yu-Gi-Oh card, right? You only see it like up to like just half body, like the torso and like the face, but not like the legs, right? Surely skipping leg days. Can be like nice to like train the legs so that they're like muscular and everything, but you walk every single day unless you have like some kind of home office job. You like use it every single day. So you have like the minimum like done to like train your leg muscles. Yeah, muscles. Ha ha ha. I wonder, is there like someone who can impersonate voices? Actually, not really, but Mime can sound really similar to like Gura. Like Discord call, and then it's like, hey, is that you? No, it's Mime, right? And she has like, yeah, she has a similar voice. Like, especially like with singing. Fauna, I don't really think so, but she can write good scripts. Like, I do respect it when people are like capable of like writing a good story. Like, do not fill in with any BS on like, you know, propaganda, but just like focusing that the story is like entertaining and is like, you know, makes sense and well written. Entertainment media, this is like so important nowadays. That you're just like there to entertain. If you maybe leave a message, cool, but it has like to align with the storyline, you know. And it has like to reach a certain target group. Like one that's like maybe niche, or like maybe like one that's like widespread, you know. But especially it has like to target like a certain thing, but like, you know, not a shotgun messenger, but like need to specialize somehow in there. Like if you write a comedy, then write about comedy, right? Don't mix in horror or like shonen action, you know. But just like focus on that, since certain people like sign up for that and they don't get a product, for example. I appreciate that like about Fauna, you know, when she writes her scripts, you know, like hand puppets, like with Kiara, then I was like asking, okay, can you do that for me? And make sure there are like not more than 2 people talking at the same time, since I only have 2 hands for the sock puppets. Something like that. If it's like ASMR, make sure that's like relaxing, you know? It's like kind of focusing on that. Oh, kind of cute. Kawaii. Kawaii dake ja dame desu ka? Ba. Then she has her twin tails. Those which are asymmetric. Let me see, is this already... Yeah, looks decent enough. Nothing too wrong. Not bad. Sketching is like pretty fun for me. I don't have really a plan at the most points. Mostly trial and error. There are like some streams where I had like an idea, then scratch that and like start from scratch again, you know. And then it's like, okay, take 2, but like with a new concept, or like try something new. that you're like kind of a chef, you know, like when option A doesn't work, then come up with your plan B. But you don't have a plan B, just like let's wing it and then like see if it works. But to be honest, if you have a plan, that's a lot more reliable than you know, like coming from on the spot. If you like have like anxiety, for example, then everything shuts down the brain, and then yeah, nothing will help. Like you won't be able to like come up with something on the spot. But maybe like escaping, you know, like retreating. When you get away from those situations, it's like, yeah, I can relax now. But coming up with a solution like while having anxiety, like a good one to solve it, you know, not running away, but actually solving it, that's like hard. Art, I think, can wait for you. Art is able to like, you know, wait for that. I think I should make it longer. Shorter, like not too broad, but like shorter. And like the width, but like better, but yeah, longer. And starting off with sketchy sketches, trying to like find a form, and then yeah, step by step, step by step. There's like some dices behind the ears, and there on that ear there's like a mouse trap, or like rat trap, or you ever like could want to call it. And accessories are important to make the character more recognizable, and if they're like toe character, they needed to survive. I like the guide Tour community did. It's like kind of a meme. How they did that. And they did like a sample character, and it looked like really similar to like Satori. This was like pre-SA, Subterranean Animism. And when this game got released, and they saw like Komichi Satori, the whole community there lolled. Like of the uncanny similarity there. So they were actually, you know, the meme is accurate, or like the, you know, how to draw a toe character. But to be honest, the how to draw a toe character is a good guideline on how to make characters look recognizable. You know, when there's like fan art of Toho characters, they look so great. They look really great. As someone who likes character designs, likes art, you know, this is like fantastic. It's like in the fantasy kind of realm. Again, so cute. So fantasy realm. More or less. But yeah. I find it like great for like the fan base to like cook something with the concept. Since Zin's son, the god Zin, allows us to do whatever we want with it. But to be honest, two characters are mostly girls. How would that look like with boys, you know? I'm sure I can make me recognizable, but what is like a good boy character design, you know? That's like recognizable. How do you draw recognizable dudes? I saw like some videos about gacha games, and I stumbled upon Love in Deep Space, or like LADs in short. While the boys are looking really hot, you know, and it's like really high quality, like the best quality I think, not like graphics. I wonder... Yeah, they're not recognizable, but, you know, what is like good male character design? Rather than like, that's like a good art style, you know? You see. I want to draw Mimi. Nanashi Mimi. Official art. Then I can see her character sheet easier. Like easier to discover that way. The original. See like the full picture. It was like some owl girl. With like hair. Yeah, which girl? Yeah, the one girl with the hair, but every girl has like hair, right? At least like every attractive anime girl must have hair. And she has her double feathers, yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's like cool what you can do with your voice. Like there's a difference if you be like dumpling. You need to find your words. Like I sometimes have difficulties to find the right words. But if you change it like to something calmer, you know, or like the speed, the mannerism, it's like sometimes I find difficulties in finding the right words. And there's like a big change. Hello, I'm Tosanyu. Hello, my name is Tosanyu. There's a big difference. Maybe there's like confidence in there, right? Which is like one factor. Oh, the meowing stopped. I guess they awakened. At the same time, they will be leaving the house around this time. Okay, now that I have like this. See? There is also the Kumosana. Wow, Tsukumo-sana got a lot of fan art this time. Usually when I type in something with Tsukumo, I get like Tsukumo Benben or like Tsukumo Yatsuhashi, so like Koto characters, but among those Tsukumos, it's like, yeah, fantastic. She's getting attention because she's like one of the one who went early. The Astro Girl will never be forgotten. Actually, I could use the Holo Friends as reference, but it's too late. You know, like miniature plushies of like the talents. They released something like that recently. I think it's permanently available. You can buy it in an official Holo store, like offline. Like just go inside a store that sells that, and then you have the freedom to like choose, like buy, without like shipping costs and everything. And she has like something on top of her head. I'm gonna color that probably. Use color for this detail. Not that satisfied with that, but gonna do what I can do. Now fauna, right? Fauna. Oh, fauna is a lot. Amidst the times of chaos, we have only hope left. Oof. I don't need that much on details. They're like little puppets. I'm very focused regarding that, since I need to do that from scratch. Not like copying, can't really copy that much. I don't know why I do it like so hard for myself. But I started something, I want to finish that. And even if you simplify, it has to like be recognizable. So there's also that. Probably the colors will carry it. But like just with line art alone, there's like not so much that indicate who. Her. It's like more of like not her, it's just like who moment in the moment. Okay, now I can continue with B. Yep, B. Windows. Close some windows. No, you can't really see her hands. With like, maybe you can, but I decided to like not add that. I like those kind of character designs where you have like really long sleeves and then it's like up to the artist. Do you want to draw hands or not? Since a lot of like aspiring artists, they do not like to draw them. Since it's a chibi style, it's like focused more on like simplicity. It's like more optimal to like not draw hands. I can draw hands for more expressiveness, but sometimes like facial expression is like enough to like tell what the vibe is. Okay. Yeah. Yep. Ah, なんだそうや。Okay. Not so bad. Not so bad. The balance is there somewhat. Just need to like put in more line weight. But yeah. It's like doable. So how much time did I spend? About 1 hour already with the sketch. Let's work on the line weight. It takes another 20 minutes. I don't want to do the line art really. Ah, yeah, I think maybe I'm gonna upload that early. This one. Usually when I draw something, like recently, I don't upload it immediately. It takes like weeks, sometimes when I remember or not. Like, you know, when, like with Grok AI, everything you post will be fed to like some kind of AI. And a lot of artists, me included, do not really agree with that what we put out is being put into that program. It's like kind of all creation or hard work, and yeah. So we use like something like a protection software. Like some use protection software, or like in a sense that it can put a watermark on it or anything different. And that takes like time to like do. So I can't like immediately upload things. Like usually I did that in the past, but nowadays, you know, better be safe than sorry. And depending on your PC, it can take like more or less time. Ba 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 ba. For now, I'm kind of glad that AI is not really able to capture emotions. Like sound like angry, not like sarcastic, or like smug. Or like this very soul of like, you know, art. I saw like some kind of video when like someone saw like kind of hot art, and then they were about to pull out their stick, and then they noticed, you know, or like, you know, this, let's say the spear, and like clean that, you know, like up and down, and then they notice, oh, AI illustrations. Damasareta. So, so in a sense, like with more emotion, more conviction. but it's rather scary. And it gets better and better, of course. But to use those programs, you need like a really good computer. So, not really sure. Is there any profit, you know, can do? You need like high specs. Try to sell what you produce for cheap, I guess. But do you make like returns, you know? What if like the PC is like being like burnt to a crisp from like all the processing? And then yeah. There are like some who do it on a daily basis. Usually when artists like with the upload schedule, there's like a reasonable gap between each illustration. Since art takes time, it can take hours or even days. And depending on the quality, you know, there can be like big gaps. But with AI is like pretty suspicious, you know. Like if you can't tell really if the artwork is like AI or not, like look at the times it got uploaded, you know, like high quality every single day, one piece, or like at the same time. If it's like within a few hours, then it's like a red flag already. That's like usually how you can tell. Like say 36 artworks on like a boy and a girl banging each other every day. This is yeah, obviously not human made. At the very least, I'm like someone who's like looking the culture kind of thing in there, and then I sometimes see that and be like, yeah, this is kind of sus. Especially if I check their profiles, like their upload history. Like not in the sense of like hacking, you know, but just like look at the gallery, you know, what pictures they uploaded, and like look at the date and time it got like uploaded, and then yeah, this kinda can like deduce in that way. And if you have like experience as an artist, you know, like how to draw, then you know like how much time, you can kind of estimate how much time it takes to like draw in that quality. Probably takes a lot of time. And yeah. It's like an educated guess you have to make if you really can't tell. I'm pretty sure if it comes like to chibi art style, AI can't really copy that. At least like from what I like notice. You know, I'm like Blue Archive and I play the game. There's an artist who draws like Blue Nyakaibu. So he's like doing like chibi manga strips. And this is like without dialogue, so you can just understand it by like by the expressionists and like how cute they are. It's like pretty wholesome. It's like drawn in really warm colors, like it's with pink, like manga-ish, you know, but mostly like pink rather than like black, like how I do it, and like with ambience kind of effects. And according to like the artist who does Blue Nyakaibu, like regular upload basis, AI cannot copy that, so it's kind of like safe. But even if they copy the art style, they can't like copy the soul on the warmth it like emits. So maybe my art is also like safe, I guess. Like maybe they can copy the style, but not like the goofiness, you know. But if it comes like, yeah, but who knows, maybe they can't copy it at all. If it's like a regular art style, you know, like, okay, there's clear anatomy, there's like some rules, then probably can do that. I see like I saw a lot. They're like they were recently able to like copy Ghibli style, right? And this is like, yeah, kind of but it depends on like what the Ghibli people will like say, if they're like okay with that or not. But man, I really do dislike it when, you know, art styles of like legends, you know, are getting copied. And then like getting commercially used. Like Berserk with Kentaro Miura, this art style. Or like with Toriyama Sensei, Dragon Ball mangaka. Really famous for that. I saw recently like some ads to like a mobile game that uses AI copying Toriyama Sensei's art style. I'm kind of like, you know. It's not really respectful. It's not really respectful to the image of like a legend. Regarding legend, I watched like Dragon Ball Daima. I finished that recently. Like if you, this is like pretty decent if you like need something in the background. Also kind of interesting with the lore they like developed there, that like the Namek people were like the origin for like a lot of things. And that they hold more power than it seems like. And I guess Super Saiyan 4 is canon. Like GT timeline is pretty much canon. It understood a lot of things that Dragon Ball Super does not. I think like, yeah, GT is like more it's like more like in the line of that. Even though Toriyama didn't work on GT, I think like he liked that idea after like Boo Saga like a lot more, I suppose. Like the direction it had. But there's a difference between like GT and like Daima, of course, but yeah. Super Saiyan 4 is canon. Hi, humble guy. Yeah, I'm a humble guy, totally not like arrogant and smug and everything. Welcome Kazu. Welcome to the art stream. I'm drawing Hakos Baelz from Hololive English. Currently working on the line art, not the line art, but like line weight, yes. And if I'm done with that, I will color. So it's like pretty much, I'm pretty much on halfway there. And while doing that, I'm like kind of like rambling, you know, the ramblings of like some humble artist, you know. And Bay looking great. Yeah, of course she does. Thank you. Anyways. What I recently talked about was like about AI, about the use of like AI art, and that it got a boost for like, you know, it's like saw some ads. It had like to like the mobile game, and it had like Toriyama Sensei's art style. Legend that like passed away, you know. And it's kind of like, you know. What were you rambling about? Yeah, pretty much that. But yeah, I was like thinking, oh, I watched Dragon Ball Daima. They're pretty much like the direction of where that went on like Super Saiyan 4, and it's kind of like storytelling. It's like not as peak as like his original series, but it was like the last thing he worked on. So I kind of like respect that, and I don't really regret watching it, but I didn't got like enlightened either, you know. Just like showing that like the green people, the Namek people, are actually like more important to the lore, that they have like a lot of let's say influence there. I mean, the series is like called Dragon Ball. The Namek people, they created the Dragon Balls, so I guess. But obviously I can see like it's just like something added recently. Nothing like too that makes like sense that much, but I accept it still. But I kinda like that it showed like that teamwork is like required, and that nobody can like solo a single opponent. Pretty much light-hearted to what I remember, like the Frieza saga, like Cell saga. I remember I was like, the first time I like encountered this was like just like randomly seeing it on TV. And then randomly at some point I went like to a store. They had like those manga versions of like the Dragon Ball movies. But at some point I went to, like, to a library after a few years, and they had like Dragon Ball manga. And then with those manga I actually, you know, got to consume the story of it. And it's pretty nice. It's pretty entertaining. Like for a Zoomer at this point, this was like a pretty nice read. Entertaining. Like show don't tell. It was a lot of like, I flip the page, something happens, and I don't need to read a lot of text to like progress with the story. And this was like really peak entertainment for me. Like watching TV, this was what I usually did, you know, watching cartoons and stuff. But this was, as like modern times, as you like say nowadays, it's like kind of the brain rot I fed my head with. But with actually like reading, you know, or like manga, you know, flipping the page and seeing like action every single time, every single panel, every single page flip, this was like a nice progression. And there's also choreography with like the pages as well, like with action scenes. And when like the element of like flight got included, it got like a lot more dimensional with like the page construction. It was like peaking pretty much like during the time the Dragon Ball Z saga, you could like say, where it's like not the child Goku, but it's like the adult Goku, when like Raditz came, some kind of Saiyajin to the earth, taking Gohan away, this battle was like really well drawn. Or like the Frieza saga. It's like it was like looking really good. Or like when Vegeta came, yeah, all of that. I think like a lot of like the female readers, they liked Piccolo and Vegeta. Like Piccolo was like pretty much the evil guy, you know. He was like the big antagonist in the Dragon Ball saga. Goku defeated like Piccolo, but before he died he would like lay an egg. And then there's like Piccolo Jr., right? And then Piccolo Jr. would like continue with his training arc, and then like meet Goku at the tournament and like fight him against there. And we always like saw Piccolo as like someone evil, but he actually had like a heart. And you know, when he had to take care of Gohan, like when Goku and Piccolo were like fighting Raditz, Goku did like a sacrifice, like holding Raditz, you know, like grabbing him that he can't move, and then Piccolo does like his L spiral, his beam attack to like kill, like attack them both, you know. And while Goku's gone, you know, they're like preparing for the next attack from like the Saiyajins and training Gohan. And this was like pretty wholesome, like when it like came to the big fight, but also like tragic, like big moments. Pretty hype. How about manhwa? Do you also read it? Yeah, I did. Like in the library there were like a lot of selections on like what I could like choose from. There were like some manhwa, but it's like not in the terms of like solo leveling or like omniscient reader. Those were like early 2010s kind of, or like pre-2010. So they were like nothing peak like that. They were pretty meh, I would like say. Pretty weak with the pacing. They couldn't like hold a candle to like legends like Dragon Ball, of course, but if I compared like to let's say like some shoujo mangas, then it was like more on this kind of level. Comedy, I guess. There were like some manhwa called Tiara, and what was the other one? This was like Kumiho? Something like that. Like about a fox demon. I finished everything there. And I was like thinking this was like not bad. I had good action for a Korean manga and manhwa. And the author didn't have any assistance, he did draw all of it by himself. The story did got weak like at the later half. The drawing got like really well though, but the story did like got pretty weak. It introduced many characters, but at some point it failed to like to develop all of them. But the first half, like the beginning and everything, was pretty nice. The girls were cute. And the characters that got like added, they were like looking pretty good too, like the guy characters. It obviously started off as a comedy kind of, with like a little bit of action and stuff, but it developed like into something really big that could like lead to the end of the world, and with such a big scale kind of event, I figured it was like difficult to focus on like everything that was like important. And yeah. Have you read Triple S rank Societal Heroes? No, I haven't really read that. Like newer manhwas, you know, like Zuma manhwas, like after 2015. Not really on the radar. But some of them get like anime adaptations, so you know. I think like I also read a little bit of The Breaker. You know, Korean bully manhwas, you know, those Korean bully stories. And then for some reason those kind of bully stories develop in a way that the protagonist who gets bullied learns martial arts, defeats the bully, then gets like into a world of like crime, drugs and gangs, you know? It escalates like from just high school sad story to like drugs, crimes, and then defeat a cartel and you know, be like the boss or something. And it's like, what the hell? Why did we get there? You know, how did we get there? A lot of them are like questionable. For my rating, I would like say, nah, those are not good. Those are not good bully stories. You should get it some try. It's really good manhwa. The storytelling is so good. It's so much different from the other manhwa. Alright, I will try. I keep my expectations low, but I do know Korean story writer, but the Koreans they have actually storytelling skills, like looking at like K-dramas, looking at like Squid Game for example. They have actually like good things in their repertoire. But also at the same time, they're like hit and misses. Like it's difficult to find the gems among like the masses of like media. I was like watching yeah, I was watching Squid Game, but then I got like recommended on Netflix like some other series. I watched like Greek Hero. This was like also typical bully story, you know, that develops like into fighting gangs and getting involved into crime, you know, betrayal, and it's like, how did we got there? But yeah. I would like say it's a masterpiece, but it was like a 7 out of 10, entertaining, you know. The actors look like really great though, and the fight scenes were like well choreographed. So yeah, this was like what kept me there. But yeah, I know like even though there are like some flaws, I still like watch it. Big Hero Class, it's good. If I got the complete title, lol. Yeah, I watched like Class 1. I heard like that Class 2 is going to be released around this year. It was like planned to be in Q1. So like, you know, last month. But it got like pushed a little bit further, so maybe in Q2 of the year. I'm super excited. Yeah, me too. I'm like, I would like to see what happens to the main character there. Of course, he's like not as strong as Seung-ho, I think. What's his name? He like, it was like showcased that when it comes to sports, he's like at last place. Like everyone is like reaching a goal, like at 3 minutes, 4 minutes time, he took like 8 minutes and it's like fully exhausted, and then the teacher's like, hey, bring him to the nurse room, and then he's like, okay, it's alright, and you know, and people like make fun of him, you know, this kind of way. But he has the smarts and determination, especially determination. while other people fool around, he takes it seriously. And when someone's serious, you know, you have to be like careful. Like if you push like a weak animal to the corner, they can get dangerous. It's kind of like that. But at the same point, I like get the message, but I wonder, weak hero? Like the title's the program, but he's not a hero. He's weak, yes, but is he a hero? I was like wondering, what is like the theme of that? It's just like Billy's story, but not about a hero, you know? It's like, yeah. But I still like watched it, and I was like thinking, that gave me a good time. I give it like a thumbs up. How about Vigilante? Have you watched that? I haven't watched that really, but I saw that sometimes like popping on my recommendations. I was like thinking about like watching K-zombies, the K-zombie genre, you know, like something like Train to Busan, or like All of Us Are Dead, or like Kingdom. I heard like that those kind of media are like pretty good, and I enjoyed like, for example, watching the first 3-4 seasons of like The Walking Dead. I stopped like watching at some point because what happened like with the fade out death, kind of like at the end of season 6 or 7, I think, like with Glenn Pierce. But I heard like with K-zombies, they did things pretty good. It follows like the cultural kind of stuff, like why there are not too many guns, or that they like risking the life of the group for like a single guy, you know, like guys walking, like running away from a horde of zombies, and then there's like the group in the shopping mall. They have like they leave the door open so that he can run through, and as soon as he's in, they're like shutting the door down, you know, but they're risking their life for this one guy. They could just abandon him, but you know, but because like Korean culture or something, they do that. It makes like sense, something like that. And it's not an open space, it's like closed environments, like something of a school or like train, shopping mall, you know, and I like exciting. Like, at least from reviews I like saw. I didn't like started watching them, but I think I gonna watch that really soon. I love zombie movies. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. Like, if a lot of people say it's good, then there's like something right about that. Yeah, you can see the real humanity. To be honest, I'm not really familiar with like Korean culture, but the more and more I watch like about the case of like the nuisance streamers that are like in Korea, and like watching the coverage, I do understand more and more. And it's like kind of like unfortunate that this kind of things happen there, but that like Asian culture gets targeted, but at the same time they're like adapting to it and working together, and that's like nice to see. Like, it has something real with the movie, with some of the movies there, or like series. Even though a lot of things are like fictional and like pretty much over exaggerated, there's something real in there. So I kinda enjoy watching Korean media, or like reading it. But for the most part, like the watching thing is like more enjoyable than the reading, like manhwa. Of course there are like good manhwas, of course. It's just like I haven't discovered them yet. But you got me a suggestion, I will check it out. Yeah, I just love apocalypse genre in general. Even though it's entertaining to watch, I don't really want to be in a situation where I have to like fight for my life and where I don't know when my next meal is going to be. And if it's not only like the undead I have to fear, but also other people. Even if we're gonna find a group, a survivalist group. Maybe at some point we're gonna be low on food, you know, and then it's like one of us needs to leave, else we cannot survive for 1 week or something like that. And then yeah, they're like sacrifices. Either this or we're gonna risk all our lives to like invade this space, you know, either in a mall with like full of undeads or like, you know, attacking another gang. It's like, you know, this is too much work for me. So I would just like perish. I wouldn't like survive day one probably. It's scary, one of the most scariest enemies, humanity. Playing games and watching entertainment is fine, but actually being in this situation, this sucks. I would wish that to nobody, to be honest. I just eat my favorite food and then vanish. Great. I mean, if there's apocalypse, you know, there will probably be no internet or something. Someone must like run that and protect the place. If like, this is, you know, I need like a safe heaven. Like a roof on above me, my 4 walls, food and internet, you know? But if internet is like gone and food is scarce, and my home is not safe because of invaders and they like, you know, raid it for like food and supplies. And yeah, I might as well like, you know, guess I'll die. Like this old man like shrugging me like, oh, guess I'll die? don't have the confidence to get in there, lol. Yeah. There's such a difference between fiction and reality. I just go in your house, my safe haven. Yeah. This can work too. But yeah, let's say I won't give up on day one. I need a motivation for that, naturally. Let's say I have like something I care about in the world, even though the world is like going under. If there's like something I care about, like family, maybe a beloved one, you know, maybe a pet, whatever. Some people have like their idols, like not virtually, but like, you know, they have like a face, they have like a voice, you know how they look like in real life, and you don't want them to perish. Let's say I have that, then I actually would like try my best to like to survive, to be able to protect the things I love, and hopefully like you know, get out of this sexually. Then maybe, yeah, no, I would give it my all, even though it's scary. I'll try to save your voice. Yeah, bringing like your recording stuff there. It's gonna be expensive, hard to protect, but if you're gonna, if it's like really important to you, you should be able to come up with something. Imagination's a strong weapon. Those who don't have it die first. But yeah, regarding like media with like apocalypse and like zombies, I do like playing Project Zomboid. This is like I think the most realistic and games regarding like zombie apocalypse. I think like 7 Days to Die is also like good. It's like has a little bit similarities to like Minecraft UI and like gameplay in its own, but like Project Zomboid, a lot of things you can do in real life can also work there as well. You know, we have like those walker type of zombies, you know, and some of them can even open doors, you know, like in Walking Dead Season 1 it was like this kind of case. Remember like where they lived even, which is like scary. But can they climb, you know? Probably not. Like if you have like a sledgehammer, for example, you destroy the stairs and have like some rope to like climb up to the second floor, then the zombies cannot really follow you. And then if you have like some kind of garden on top of the floor, you're like kind of able to survive. And you have water collectors and like catch a rain, like water your plants, you know. There's like a kind of a way to like ensure your safety. And since like the undead are like attracted by sound, there are like a lot of ways to lure them away. So it's like kind of cool on like how much emphasis this game like puts onto that. Like even like on the hunger bar, that you get exhausted if you like strike too many times, you know. Like thanks to Vespa from Hololive English, when he was active, he pretty much promoted that game. At least like he had like good comments, a good kind of view on that. And when he did his stream, it was like a nice event. And he's a pretty good explainer on like games he like is pretty proficient with. I liked the stream. And he had like some kind of near-death moments there, I would like say. A lot of Ahol was like chasing him, and then it's like about to climb a tall fence, and if you have a lot of like baggage, you know, in your bag, then the chance of like failing is like pretty high, that you won't be able to like climb a large fence with like a lot of like weight on you that you're carrying too much. But he clutched it, and then it's like, yeah, was like pretty nice. Ha, you want the succulent idle ass? Ha, come get it, you know. Or when he was like walking to the gas station, and with those cars you like hijack that, you know, like started with like wiring. there's a chance that also your car is not able to start. There was like a horde chasing him. Then he got into his car and then, okay, start the car, drive away, but it didn't start like at first. And then it was like, oh, they're coming, and you know, when they're like banging on his windows, and when it finally started, when he could like get away last minute before like a window broke and then he got like bitten or something. It's like, those are like some kind of zombie film moments there that are like really clutch. And it was pretty nice. It was like on his first stream, so it could like really like showcase on like how good this game is, and that those kind of this kind of genre is entertaining, even though you play it solo there in the stream. Yeah, I loved hearing his opinions. Me too, me too. Like, when people are excited about something, you can hear that. And it's like entertaining to listen to what they have to say about the thing they love and enjoy. It's pretty much universal. Like, even with Shinri, when he's like talking about his ghost girls. You know, like Sadako from The Ring, the one long-haired girl, so long that you can't even see her face, you know, even covering her face. It's like climbing out of the TV. He was kind of like thinking, what if you put like the screen like facing the ceiling, you know, instead of like letting it normally stand. When she climbs out, she like naturally falls out of it, but if it's like facing upwards and looking like her body, at her body muscles, the way it's like built, she's not like a bodybuilder, you know, she's like a just slender girl who like skipped training, the gym, and trying to climb, like, you know, through a square opening, like upwards. You need like some muscles in the underarms, you know, and everything to be able to make it. You're kind of like hanging there, nothing to support you to like climb up there. And then it's like this kind of moment, yeah, you're gonna climb out. If I'm gonna kick your hands, you know, that like clinging on the edges of my screen, you're gonna fall. So what are we gonna do, you know? And then it's like this kind of situation. Usually this kind of moment when Sadako is climbing out of her TV, climbing out of the TV, is like pretty scary, but the way he describes it is like, yeah, this is awkward, what do we do? And I kind of like it, you know, how it is like human, if how he puts like character, personality into all those, you know, ghost girls he's like talking about. And it becomes less scary. Like, if you put like kind of a story behind them, you're not really afraid of them. It's just like the less you know, the more scary it is. Oh my god, the red BG with white eyes was a jump scare. Yeah, no. Those are like some kind of artist moments. I'm sorry. But that's like the usual experience sometimes with like... how do you call it? Beginner digital artist, yeah. Self-proclaimed. I do know how to draw. I'm pretty good when it comes to like drawing analog with pen and paper. But with like digital art, I'm still learning how to do that. Of course, I'm like not a beginner really, since I know like how to color and everything, and some things you learn like in analog style can also like transfer that to digital. But it still takes time to learn. Shinri has the ball of steels. How can even do that without getting scared, lol? That sounds genuinely kind to the girls, lol. Yeah. He has like sympathy for them, pretty much. And looking at this kind of way, you know, maybe I also get influenced that I play like horror games and I don't really feel too afraid. Like, of course, there are like some moments where I'll be like, wow, you know, because of like jump scares. They're like just surprising me out of nowhere. And when they look like scary, of course. But once you know more about them, that they have a personality, that they come out of somewhere, the reasons why they actually do that, it gets like, yeah, you know, you start to like sympathize with them. Some of them have like a really bad, sad backstory, you know, on like how they died. I mean, they have a lot of regrets. That turns like, you know, it's like mostly like anger issues. Maybe they died like a horrible way. Or like killed by a serial killer or whatever. Or they're like a children. They're like children. They couldn't protect those. Let's say Thunderdown, right? It's just like a story about a guy who lost his balls. It's just that. But when you actually explore it, you know, unlike what's so special about it, there are like yokais and aliens in there. And at the beginning it was like, okay, just we're gonna be Ghostbusters and fight them, right? It was kind of started off like that. But of course, like those ghosts, those urban legends, there's like something about them. Wait, you're not scared like horror game? Even you're alone? I mean, I have like audience, you know, when I stream that. So I'm not really, I don't really feel afraid. Sometimes I get afraid, you know, let's say like scared, you know? I don't see them coming, be like, wow, you know, be like, holy crap, yeah, and be like running away. But for the most part, I'm like pretty chill when I like play horror games. Back when maybe I was like not so chill, but now that I like understood like Shinri's point of view on like humanizing those creatures, yeah, it's like more chill. I can't play any horror game even someone watching me. Yeah, I mean, everyone is built different. It doesn't, but you know, if you're afraid, you can, you have like some advantages. You know, like Resident Evil series? There's kind of a history between like who is like in the cast. It changes like every single game, or like every 2 games, every 3 games. Like when people are able to be afraid of things, they're able to create things that are actually scary. Once they stop being afraid of something, the scare factor is like pretty weak. So like the first 2 Resident Evil games were like pretty good, but the more parts you like progress, the more it became like some kind of action shooter, rather than like a game, you know, where you have like to be really careful on how you progress. I watched like some videos about that, you know, like on the decline of like horror games, like how they got like less scary, and it was an interesting watch, and like how they took Resident Evil as like example for that. So not a lot of like AAA game series are like able to create that atmosphere of like, you know, of respecting like all those random elements that can make you afraid. My favorite genre is horror. I can watch it even in the middle of the night, just not playing. I tried playing Medicine and lost my shit. Yeah, there's a difference in like watching characters, you know, being a horror situation or like a streamer, and like playing it yourself. If you play it yourself, you are getting like... you put yourself in the shoes of like the main character. Sometimes it's not even you, but like you yourself. You just can like create your character, give it a face, a name, whatever, and then it's like that. Especially in VR, I think. VR can get really scary. Yeah, because in VR it's like directly your point of view. Like it doesn't have to be a game, it can be just a video. And this can be like scary enough. I tried playing it because I felt brave after watching Shiri playing it, but the buff just faded after I started playing LoL. Yeah. I like how you said like that the buff expires. Like when Papa Shinri is not there anymore, it gets like more scary. I don't know, do people call him Papa? I think in the beginning they should it, you know. I kinda like the memes in the beginning. It was similar to like with Vespa. With like, you know, that there's like one guy that has like, that is like walking his dogs, you know? And he has like his dogs on his lines, but they're all like chaotic, wild, and then you have like, he has to like do this weird posture to keep like all his dogs under control. And Vespa was like this guy who is like holding the lines while the dogs are like all the boys, you know, like running here and there, like, you know. And pre-debut, there was like Shinri in this position, and the rest are like the other boys, like Hakos, Baelz, and like Flayon. But I would like say Flayon and Hakos are like chaotic ones. Baelz is pretty much like grounded, pretty real. Even though he's like somewhat of boy failure too, but he's pretty real. Why boy failure? I think like he's not really much of a failure like Gerard, you know, but he's like the sandbag. Like whenever there's something, it can't be Shinri, it can't be Flayon, it can't be Haka to be like the target. It must be him. He's like the jester, he's like the fool, right? And he's like pretty much resistant, pretty much okay with that. Gonna be the type on like, watch this, and then he fails miserably. But I like listening to him. And when he collabs with other people. He's pretty smart. I think like Battle cannot play horror games, I think. You know, there was like this April Fools last year, and when they swapped like their roles, that Shinri would be Battle, and then Battle would be Shinri. You know, something like that. You're using reference, right? Yeah, I do. More or less. But I'm not following like every single step since I'm like simplifying it. You know, if you do like GB style, you don't have to draw every single detail. As long as you recognize them, it's good enough. I mean, you recognize this is Baelz because I did like her face and her hairstyle, the colors, like kind of. But regarding like the puppets, I kinda had to like alter that, but it's still like, you know, them. I think it's like cool like that artists are like able to improvise there to make it like, you know, their own style still, even without copying and using too much of the reference. But the references are still nice. Aspiring artists especially, like if they want to draw their favorite character. But yeah, I need a reference too, like my character. Me myself needs a reference. There's not too much out there. There was like, I think like in a year in review I did that. I like actually showed like a little bit of the working progress of like my background on like my character. And yeah. Det var satsa den stream. My line of thought. I find it like pretty interesting, like when people like, you know, like those behind the scenes making of, like in the CDs, or when Octavia like explained a little bit more on like the makings of like his 3D life. No, you haven't finished it yet? Let's say I don't really have started it, to be honest. I just like needed like some sketches and references to be able to put out something. Do I have something there? Let me see. I'm gonna check my files, but I think I did it like 2023. Do I have the folder still? Yeah, it's still there. Oh, that's good. Thank God. To be honest, at that point I drew this is like I didn't draw in a long while. Where was that? This one here. I didn't draw it after a long while, so I kind of had to do like some practice drawings, you know. Then you get like a little bit more in form. And this guy here is on the right is pretty much like the kind of sketch I like came up with. And this one in the middle I kind of use more or less it's like how my character looks like. Oh, that's cute, he looks like a chill guy. Yeah, pretty much. There are also like some things here in the bottom right and bottom left, in the middle, like with the mature Tosan guy. I was thinking maybe if I'm gonna do mascots, you know, that my audience has a face, maybe it look like that. A little bit of like, you know, if you look here from the top, you know, of the top of the head, then you have like kind of a circle that's like black and maybe have like something standing out like the headphones. And yeah. And also like the different facial expressions of like being smug, you know, and Engi mode, you know. Yeah, I have like some toggles, but not too much. But let's go back to the drawing progress, you know, like with color and everything. We love that in here. Me and my homies love that. When there's like a little more progress with like colored stuff. Onikoi. That doesn't work. They look like a bread? Yeah. The more simplified it is, you know, the more resemblance you have like to something simple. Okay. Does this work? Yeah, it does work. Fantastic. Oh no, she has like some kind of plushies on the... okay, I don't need to add that. Not important to add. But VTuber character designs are something regarding difficulty. Sometimes enjoy it, sometimes it's like, ah, oh, please stop. Like, I think like a lot of people like said that Iris was like super hard to draw in the beginning. Some people, like the community, the artist community, they came like up together and be like, hey, is there a way do you have like some kind of guide to make it look like easier to draw, you know? And when Redshoe Sensei, like the artist from like Iris, came up, like released the character sheet, they got like more or less of a easier time on like creating a cheat sheet to like draw her. I saved it somewhere or like bookmarked it somewhere, but I don't have it anymore. Like if I were to draw Iris again. But it can be like more or less fun, like joining the community of like the artists and like brainstorm together. Like in every community there's like some kind of fun, like yeah. But if there are no community available, you know, maybe you can be like one of the first to create it. But being a leader, you know, being someone in a leadership position, this is like tough, to be honest. Then you're gonna be able to take responsibility. When something goes wrong, you have to like be the one to fix it. And so on and so forth. I think like a lot of people prefer like to not take it and be like, oh no, I'm just a little guy, you know, I'm still going to school or whatever, you know, whatever they like put out. It is like cool to have like, okay, I'm Regis Altair, leader of the Tempest Guild. to be able to say that, and then you have like this title and stuff. And when people need stuff, then they can go to you, and then yeah, you're gonna be the helpful guy, the chill guy, you know. And yeah, but when it's getting tough and everything, you can't really run away from it, because you are the guy. You can imagine, for example, like in apocalypse setting, this can be like really tough, you know? If you are like forced to be like the leader, because maybe the previous leader died, you know? Then yeah. This can also happen. Pain and separation. A common theme. But you can be really chill as a leader as well. You don't have to be that strict. But put on some rules and make sure those rules are being followed. Sometimes you can make compromises, but still follow like the guideline you've created. Off topic, by the way, what's the color of the eye of your character? They're just plain white. Like, if it's like those big round eyes, you know, but if it comes like to let's say the PNG here and everything, then then let's say it's black. No, actually not black, but it's red. It's like brown red or something. Need to like put up the thing here. I can load my... Oh, actually no, let's not put it up. But let's say as a PNG tube I have like a second model, and this like this one, the center there. And yeah. But it's gonna be a hassle to like set up everything. There's like also like some great fan art from some of my viewers here. I think like I talked about that. When did I talk about that? On my birthday? Last year, my birthday, yes. I kind of like showcase some of the fan art that I created for me. Not a lot, but still like something I appreciate. And there was like one of my regulars who did fan art of that. That looked like kind of like nice. I think I can put it up. Need to like find it though. Did I save it somewhere? I did it for sure. Yeah, there is Tosan fan art. I have a folder. There are like some who from our Twitch viewer here. Answer about the file format. Okay, cannot open it. Cannot open it. This was like from Zezzy. It kind of looked like more black and white. This was like one of the colored artworks. There's where like my eyes were like black, but you know. But it follows like kind of the color scheme, you know, of like my clothing. You know, that's just like black, a little bit of reds here, then mostly blue, you know. There's like that. Yeah, it's like pretty good, right? I did a shout out on like the artists, on like who they are, but the one who did like the colored artwork, she constantly changes her name. Like currently you can find her. Let me check. Let me check. You can find her. Let me open Instagram. Need to do like some Windows capture. Dori. There? Let me see. Need to set up that somehow. Make like prod, I think. Yeah, pull. They're like somewhere in my timeline, I think. I'm actually gonna search. Yeah, there it is. Right here. They're called 58_.7min. And this like pretty much, you know, if you have saw the artwork, it's like pretty much the art style. They haven't really posted it anywhere in their social media, but they sent it to me directly via a private message, and then yeah, they like persona stuff, and yeah, he's pretty good. Mexican artist. I think like this is like the most recognizable, like, you know, like regarding the art style. She did like for the fan art of mine. But of course she gets like better and better over time, so might be like a thing in the past, but still, you know, their skill. I find it like nice to like watch artists and then see them how they become better. It's like really a theme like when you read manga, like Berserk. Was like kind of cool to see how like Miura Sensei's art evolves. Like how more beautiful Griffith becomes, or like how more badass Guts looks like. And how he grows. If I send one, just send it through, I guess. Yeah, I have more or less like hashtag, but like Tosan. Actually, what is the hashtag? Let me check. I think like the underscore is always in my name. Tosan U? Yes, Tosan_U gallery. Something like that. Like this, you can find it on my Twitter, really. Yeah. There are no... Yeah, there's actually one, but it's by myself. Okay, let me draw a mermaid, let me draw the puppets, yeah, all of them. And then can call it a job done. I think like I have fauna somewhere. Oh, fauna. Dori. Where did I have her? There's Aqua, there's this, there's Delta, there's... I have like a folder where I like save all of the character designs, but I think I deleted that with fauna. I was like thinking, oh, maybe I don't need her, but actually I need her. Okay, let's save that. And noted, I just got to your bio. That's wonderful. You know, when I regarding fan art, like a lot of those VTubers, they're pretty much humble on like regarding accepting support. I'm like, oh, you don't really need to support me. You don't need to throw me super chats, you know, when like when they randomly pick it up in the chat and like, oh, I want to support you but I can't send any super chats, you know. Then they're like, nah, that's fine. Something like along the lines. You can just leave me a like and a comment, and you can support me. That's alright. And I can like agree with that as well, since there's some people who can be like a really tough situation with like money and everything, and you know, you need to ensure that you have like food, internet, and like, you know, a place to live, and then it's like everything fine. But regarding free-to-play support, you don't need to like do the like and comment is like good too, but you know, doing fan work like videos, memes, fan art, those are also like really good ways to support someone. And you know, this is like noticeable, the effort you put in there, since art, memes, fan work in any kind of way, it can take hours to like create, to do. And it's really appreciated to do so. And sometimes it gets rewarded, not only with a like and like a comment, you know. Sometimes it gets used for like thumbnails, but also like something really new for me, you know. I was like not thinking much of it, but when I saw it like with the Myth members, like Hololive English, you know, when it first got launched, and then I discovered it via there, and it was like, holy crap, there's something in for me. Let's do that for the cloud, you know. Not for support, I want for cloud, and everything. But to be honest, if you really like the VTuber, you know, really like the person behind that, not only like for how good the character design is, but like the personality and everything, you can see that like the love in there. And how warm their smile is, how warm their appearance is, you know, and or like how just plain dumb silly it is, but you know, you have like good vibes from there. I like fan artists like Tabako, or like Height Sensei, yeah. Tabako is like the Twitter handle, kind of, but he's like known as Height Sensei, and he is like dedicated artist to like Friend, like Fubuki. And he's such a giga chat. So he's kind of like, for me, the standard on like being like a good supporter and like regarding like being a fan, you know. And not only is like drawing, he does like a lot for like he's like used in a lot of like his art is getting used a lot. Like his skills are getting used a lot for like music videos, you know, like that even the fans get like opportunities like that. Or like, you know, Seafoam Boy, like the 3D, for like the virtual VR, like aquarium and everything. This was like kind of nice. Like every kind of skill set is like useful. Animations, art, music, you know, mixing. Like there's not only art in like drawing, but also like in music creation, and it's like nice to see. I'm still like dabbling here and there on like putting in my nose in the different kind of things. Maybe I can be like, oh, I do it myself. But if there are like some existing assets and like the fan art that can be used for thumbnails and anything, you make like life for them easier too. Ame, for example, Amila Watson, my Oshi, VTuber Oshi, she even used my art I did of her, it's like the pinned one in Twitter, like for a Apex stream to like as a map coverage. This was kind of a time where I didn't use like watermarks, so she didn't like know where to shout out to, but a fan base is like it's like cracks, like the teammates, the detectives, you know, the investigators. They like found out the source, found me, and then left me like, gave me a little bit of clout there. So yeah, was like not I would be like fine without getting cloud there, but I got it a little bit there. It's still not a lot, but I was still like appreciating and like, man, the people are based. Yeah, also recently, not recently, but like, I think, when was it? January? Zeta. From the latest gen from Indonesia. She even used, my art, the GB art, also like for one of their thumbnails. It was also like kinda nice. And yeah, this was like the first time I think like it ever got used as a thumbnail. For that, like from Hololive member. Is a Hololive Enjoyer that's like really great. Like a dream came true. But yeah, regarding art streams and everything, you know, like trying Hololive members, my goal is pretty much to like have drawn everyone from Holo Pro. Like not only like Hololive but also Holo stars, you know. Hence why I say like Holo Pro. At some point I'll also come to the credited members, like terminated ones, like Gamma. But I will get there. If my goal is like fulfilled, then I can like I probably will draw whatever I want. But sometimes if there are like some events like, let's say, birthday, my favorite character from some anime, you know, or like games, then you know there will be exception, and then I do that. But I will try to like draw every week at least one time, so I will get that at some point. Hololive has like about 40 members, like on active ones I think like 33, 32. If I draw like every week, like every month, it's like 4, then I will get that at some point. Within a year, for sure. It's slow, but you know, you need to like keep up some kind of schedule, some like kind of thing you can follow. I will also draw while watching you draw. Yeah, this is fine. I do that the same thing, to be honest. When I watch like people draw, I draw too. Like in drawing streams, it's like pretty much a Zatsudan when they even talk. But you're also able to see like the progress they do on stream. Like every 5 minutes, every 10 minutes, you know, like something's happening on screen. It's just like slowly, gradually. And while this happens, you can keep in the background, you know, have as a BGM. I like having streams as BGM, you know, I give them watch time, it supports them, at the same time I have like someone talking, you know, that doesn't feel so lonely. I can do that while I cook, while I clean, while I'm like taking a dump, you know. Okay, not really idle-like, but not really say so, but I'm no idle. Even if I draw or like have like work on something like thumbnails or whatever, yeah, this is like nice to have. So if yeah, you guys, you gamers do the same thing, cool, you know, we have like something common. Oh, you're almost finished, yeah. The base color is like applied to all of them pretty much. I do like add something more of a depth regarding colors later like afterwards, and then yeah, maybe I'm done. I will not add any more with like backgrounds probably. Since it's 3 characters I draw, no 4 characters, you know, I have to keep it short. But for me, it's like always the quantity more important than like quality. Like, if I draw, I want to be done fast. I don't want to like spend too many days on like artwork. Unless I really care. If it's like my Oshi, you know, like my magnum opus, I really care about. But everyone else, I give like the same love, to be honest. That I like finish it like as fast as possible. But I have to be satisfied with what I do, of course. If I do it like fast, but it's like looks like trash, then yeah, I will do it again until I'm like satisfied with it. There's like there's a pride as a craftsman, as a artist, as a creator, you know. Everyone has this kind of like pride. Every creator has like some kind of pride there. Some kind of ego. Maybe some don't really aim for like being the best in what they do, but they want to at least do the best they can, you know? Do what you can. I'm like in this camp. Like, I think a lot of people are like in this camp. Maybe some are like casual, but you know. But doing art takes hours. Right? You dedicate it to some drawing you don't profit from, maybe. What it helps, for me at least, is like personal growth and like drawing. Like getting better in digital art, or like at least faster, you know, is also like nice. You know, muscle memory. Yeah, I forgot something about Sana. There's like some kind of antenna on her head. I forgot that. I'm gonna add this. When she takes off the antenna, she becomes like a giant. Yeah. I think this was the lore. Also, there's like more on her head. Sana. I did draw her in the past 2 times. She has a really cute art style, Sana. Also, she can draw. She's an artist. Like it pretty much. But you know, when people draw, you can recognize them. Just recently saw her art out there and be like, oh, that's her. Good, that's like, I'm like glad to see that they're like still doing well. Graduation is not necessarily the end, since the members can still contact each other, be like friends. And there are another dimension there. But yeah, I still respect it, you know, regarding like when people don't really want to know on the past life or like their new life. or like immersion, you know. I don't really want to know it as well, but if like algorithm leads me there at some point, then okay, I guess. Like regarding Tempest, boys, I do know like pretty much who everyone is, but yeah. But also like kind of interesting to see on that actually everybody can join if they have like something that stands out, like some kind of skill. Like the way you talk is also a skill. Like if I just, you know, just like how I normally speak. The way you talk is a skill. If I change it, you know, like a little bit chill, more slow, mannerism, like alter. The way you talk is also a skill. It sounds really different from, you know, the way to talk is also a skill, you know, different aura, different different like kind of expression. Yeah, algorithm keep exposing me to them. yeah, victim there too. Yeah, every time I see like some kind of random video, let's say it's like with Japanese title, then I kinda get like, I have like suspicion always, you know? Is it what I think it is? You know, it's like similar to like when you see like the graduation announcement. Like it doesn't like say graduation announcement, but you know, you see like something's off if there's just a thumbnail and it says like announcement. Back in the days was like the black on white or like white on black kind of background. But nowadays, you know, there's like a pattern. Random video. But sounds familiar. A familiar voice, for example. There was also like with music. I like listening to voices. And there was like a certain singer I like to listen to. Like occasionally, no? That's not regularly. This singer released a new song. And this was like where I got to listen to it after 2 years, and I was like, actually it sounds so similar to like one member of like Hololive. And I was like kind of like suspecting something. And I typed in Google, hey, is this singer this person from Hololive? Then I got results and I was like, okay. And this led me to more. Then when I found Doobie that way. Like Ame, kind of. So yeah. It's like kind of like interesting like how life leads, how like those things lead you somewhere. But to be honest, clips would also like come, like algorithm clips and such, and then I could have also found it that way. So I think in some way or another, I was like kind of like fated to like see that. It was unavoidable. But what was surprising for me, like with Magni, I watched his past live videos before, but I couldn't like make the connection with the voice. I couldn't make the connection. Maybe this is like how people can be professional, you know? But actually, it kind of like, at some point, I realized things, you know, because of art style. Of like the thumbnail art, and then like Magni's art, and I was like, oh, okay, this is his fingerprint. Okay, now I recognize it. And then, if I listen to the voice, it sounds like similar to him. And yeah, actually it was not only similar, it was even his own voice, like it was him. And then yeah. With this part was like pretty easy, kind of like with algorithm again, but you know, it's like kind of like interesting. Not exactly what you are like chasing for, but you make the connection somehow because you have some puzzle pieces already. In this kind of way, it's also like interesting, like with games, you know, like if you, let's say, you like certain seiyus from like games or like anime, and then you can recognize them again if you like watch another series, you know. And it's like, oh, it's this guy or it's this girl, you know. And in this kind of way, you can kind of like develop like some favorites in like their voices, depending on like how they perform and everything. Sometimes you like build a connection just because you like the character, and then it's like this voice, you know, you like connect it with to that character. I like pretty much Toyama now. I like Hayami Saori, Saka Ayane. With male voice actors, I must like say there are a lot of like skilled ones. Like Lloyd's voice, like Yoshitsugu Matsuoka. There was like Levi, you know, that voice as well. Kei Suda? Oh, no, not Kei Suda. Something with Suda, you know. Like has like the hottest voice and like male voice acting. Something like that. Seiyu. There's a lot of I like, yeah. I mean, if you are like, you're like liking voices, you know, be like, oh, I'm so down bad for it, you know. But I'm like in the same camp, to be honest. When I listen to ASMR, for example, or like listen to singing, and then people bring out just their most beautiful voice out there. It can stunlock me, and then I'm like, just like, it's over. But yeah, it's either I sit or lie peacefully there with the headphones or like earpieces in my ear, you know, and you know, I like in peace listen to that, or I do a bit and be like, oh, it's so good, Moto, oh. Oh, kimuchi! Ah. If I do like awesome, like an old man, you know? Like, oh, koi, oh, moto. think it's pretty normal when you're excited, you know. If you hear like you listen to something good and it's just like, yes, let's go. But if it comes to singing, I'm not a degenerate really. Just like in this kind of situation, you know, where it's like, when you put your trust into like the voice actor or like ASMR artist, that they don't scream into your ear, you know. When they deliver and they actually be like considerate of you, you know, like you need put a lot of trust into the person, and there are a lot of people who don't really like ASMR because it's like weird or whatever, but when you do your best on like making it like likable, you know, when it's like the first time to listen to ASMR, then it's like your responsibility whether or not they like it. I kind of like that about Vespa, like how he did his best there, and actually it was pretty good, to be honest. But when I go like to professional ones who do like regularly, then yeah, there's like this personality, there's like this beauty in their voice. And this is like where I fall in love with the voice, with the person sometimes even. But I guess it's like just like this one aspect I like love, and yeah. Yeah, but I personally like it. ASMR was very helpful during my insomnia, was pretty bad. Yeah, to be honest, I use always ASMR before I like go to sleep. It helps me with that too. You can like feel at peace, like those ear cleanings, right? When they whisper into your ear. Even if it's just like onomatopoeia, and they'd be like nade nade, you know, like yosh yosh, like iko iko. It's like pretty good in Japanese, but sometimes like I can't sleep on like the English ones as well, like especially if it's like a really good voice. But yeah, it's like preference. Some people don't like it, some people like it. Like you have to like find your own like combination there. Like I've asked my siblings regarding ASMR, but I guess I like the only one there who really likes it. And then I'd be like, but what if it's your husband though? What if it's your waifu, you know? Won't you enjoy it? And you know, then it's always like a hit or miss sometimes. But like thinking about the situation, you know, and you're like vulnerable. You're putting your trust into someone that don't scream your ear off, you know. Even just only audio like raining or sea. Yeah, I like listening to that too. Like the sound of rain. I think this was like kind of my first approaches to like calming down. But for the most part I was like going to music for that. Like tour music. Like sometimes like piano music as well. Like those kind of classics, instrumentals. Like nothing like pop music or like electro, you know, just like peaceful, like mostly instrumentals and ambience, you know. And I think like there I got like more appreciation for like singing voices, but mostly it was like instrumentals and I wanted to like focus on something or like have work to do. Like homework. But I don't know, like sometimes people find it nice to have like someone speaking in the background, you know, like a stream in the background, a podcast, they're like driving a car, and then it's like good enough for them. And then yeah, hey, thanks for bringing entertainment to my night shift. It was fun listening to you. I sometimes hear like this kind of thing. So yeah, sometimes I do wonder how should I do it with my streams. Should I have like something funny to tell, or should I always talk like Altair, you know? But yeah. But my natural voice can also be like enough. Some people, like, you're not the first one to comment on that regarding to my voice. So yeah. So I'm not unaware of it. Actually, I kind of like discovered it on my own as well, that maybe it doesn't sound so bad. I was kind of like gaslighting myself, I was like thinking. But when I got like the confirmation, I was like, okay, maybe it's not so bad. There's always like doubt somewhere. Like, of course you can believe in something, but doubting something is also like important. It's like a paradox. Like having been like having doubt, you know, and having like trust. But those kind of opposites can live together, like life and death. Like day and night. They can cooperate, they can coexist. Like if someone's telling you a story, then it's on you to be like, yeah, that's BS, or I trust you, you know? Like in Among Us, it can break friendships. I like Monopoly, you know? Something like that. Mario Party even. Like those kind of group games where you compete with each other. But also being able to forgive. Being able to reflect, think about things. Like a lot of like socially it can get like pretty much deep. I think I leave it at that with this one here. Like some things are like not Polish, but it's good enough. Maybe I use like some color balance, but I think this is not bad. I'm gonna save it. I forget to save always. How much time it has passed? 2 hours and 40? Yeah. Okay. Alright, I like it. Simple is the best. That will be all for today. I thank you all for watching and listening. So I wish you all, and done, yes. I wish you all a nice rest of the day. evening or good night, whatever time zone the world you are. And with that I say, bye bye!